Or dead center in the eye, are you living? Go ahead and do it now. What did he say? Doesn't really matter. Now turn here and look at me, because I got something to share with you. Did you know that this thing called life is really interesting? No matter where you were born or what your condition is, you can make it in life if you choose to live. Look, my mother always told me, you don't choose where you start off in life, but you can choose how you will be living your life. Will you choose to live? Madam Contest Chair, beautiful Toastmasters and friends, I chose to live. And I've seen the rewards of it. One day, in my home club Toastmaster, Soul Toastmaster, after a meeting, I was taking a role as a Toastmaster. A fine gentleman came to me, just tall, this big, strong voice. He looked at me and said, "Hey Boris, I like your stage presence and your confidence. You're great, man." I said, "Thank you." The other day, in the course of my work, I had a business meeting with a group of Korean businessmen. And at the end of the meeting, one of them came to me, elderly man, 60, 65. He leaned over the table and he told me, "Young man, I like your confidence. You seem to be very smart." Seem to be. The other day again, in my other club Toastmaster, Pacific Sunset Toastmaster, at the end of the meeting, a fine lady came to me. Love it. She told me, "Hey Boris, I'm giving a speech next week, and I want you to be my evaluator. You're the best in the industry." I said, "Industry?" That just sounded good. I felt like a Hollywood superstar. Boris Smith. Now, is there anybody in this room who likes receiving compliments? Raise your hand and make me feel good about myself. I'm just like you. I like receiving compliments. I feel alive and revived. But most importantly, for someone who was not used to receiving compliments like me, when I receive those compliments, they are a reminder to me of how life can really be rewarding when you choose to live. You see, I didn't start up this way. I started with very humble beginning. I was born in a small village in Gabon, Central Africa. Even on the stage, you can see how Africa is far. And I don't know what she's doing in Africa. My mother was a teenage woman of 16. She dropped out of school to take care of me. My father left before I was even born. My mother ended up becoming a housekeeper. She was cleaning other people's houses, washing other people's clothes, doing other people's dishes, and cooking for other people. And most of the time, she would take me along with her. And I can still feel the pain watching my mother work for other people. But she was a very interesting person. She would look at me and say, "Boy, you don't choose what you start up with in life, but you can choose how you will be living your life." We were living in a tiny wooden house. And as a child, I can still remember the shame and the embarrassment I had in my childhood, growing up trying to interact with other kids in the neighborhood who were living in better houses, dressing in more decent clothes. I didn't have any of those. I didn't feel like I fitted in. At school, I can still remember, in the midst of all those seemingly smart and better off kids, I was afraid to strike a conversation with them because I didn't feel like I belonged. They were way too nice. I didn't feel worthy. In public places and public events, the last thing I wanted to do was to feel noticed. I didn't want to attract any attention on me. I was walking on eggshells. Who would listen to me? Who would consider me? I was just the son of a housekeeper. Nothing to offer. Anybody knows what I'm talking about? Have you noticed that sometimes when you have less than the rest, you feel useless and worthless? I was there. And then I started reflecting upon my life. And these words of my mother kept coming into my mind. "Boris, you don't choose in life what you start up with, but you can choose how you will be living your life. And it dawned on me after so many years that she was trying to tell me that I was not doomed to continue to live this way, that I could choose to live differently and see the rewards of it. So I took control. I decided to begin to live. I tried to take challenges, join groups, join clubs, learn new languages, look for mentors, reading books. And in doing so, I came across this fabulous quote that is attributed to Teddy Roosevelt, and he said, I choose not to be a common man. It is my right to be uncommon if I can. I will seek opportunities, not security. I do not wish to be a capped citizen, humbled and dulled by having the state look after me. I want to take the calculated risk to dream and to fail and to succeed. And you can tell, he succeeded because he chose to live. Fellow Toastmasters and friends, have you been denying yourself the right to live because of what you have or do not have? I've been there. Have you been shying away from life's great opportunities because you're just afraid of not conforming, not fitting in, or not belonging? Because you're afraid of being judged, being rejected, or being denied? I have been there. But today I'm here, 7,000 miles away from that small village and that tiny house. I am standing here in front of that great audience, confident, like the gentleman said, seemingly smart. And the old man said, best in the industry. Oops, that's not me to choose. Hope so. But the point is, I am standing here because of the determined choice that I made to live through these powerful words of my mother. I came to understand that you may not have been given the choice of your place of birth, but you can definitely choose to live a life of worth and see the rewards of it. Now turn to your neighbor left and right and ask him this question, dead center in the eye. Are you living? And plus, will you choose to live? Madam Countess, please.
One minute of silence.